Hello and welcome to another zany episode of Nerdy West Coast Swing, the podcast with pixels where the anchors are out of this world and the points don't matter. Normally, we are here to help train your eyes so you can learn faster and dance better, but today we're doing a fun holiday episode. I'm Cassie Winter.
I'm Alicia Marshall. I don't think I'm going to do my normal intro today because it doesn't make sense based on what we're talking about.
We're just having fun.
I'll just explain what we're doing today, I guess. So today we're just going to take a look at 5 of Cassie's and 5 of my most underrated dances. They can be anything, and I don't know how Cassie defined underrated in her mind, but
we had as little structure as possible so we could have fun.
Yeah. I know personally I was kind of just going off of, when people talk about either certain dancers or certain kind of categories, what dances do they talk about the most, and then kind of filtering through those and thinking okay, what do I like in that category that is not as recognized? So yeah. I know a lot of the videos that I have a lot of views, but they've all been up for years. They're not, I don't think any of them are particularly recent.
And then mine, I went by part, there's one that was incredibly popular back when I was a baby Westie, and it has a gazillion views, but I just want to make sure the newer generation is familiar with it because it's that important. And then also I'm going from the most YouTube views on the YouTube video, and my number one spot has the least number of YouTube views, and I'm like, this is a crime. So I'm here to fix that.
I did not do mine that way.
No, can you tell I'm autistic? These must be in descending order. And then, so this is going out on YouTube the Sunday of the US Open, but we were filming this the Tuesday before. So we have no idea what has happened at the US Open yet. We're very excited. I know I'll be watching it on Global Dance TV. So we'll probably talk about that at some date in the future. But that's why this is not US Open content, because we can't time travel.
That would be interesting, though.
Yeah. So the way this is going to go is it's basically going to be reaction videos. So we're going to be watching each other's choices together. But because of YouTube copyright issues, we cannot actually share the dance videos with you in this format, but I will link all of them in the description box below. And as we're introducing each video and talking about it, I'll give a little screen capture of the video so you know which one we're talking about without a shadow of a doubt. So without further ado, who wants to go first with their number 5?
You can.
All right. Westie history it is. So this first video that I wanted to share is the one I kind of alluded to earlier that has 1.3 million views. Excellent. But I just want to make sure the newer generation of Westies is aware of it. So it's Jason Colacino and Katie Boyle, and an iconic piano song I love so much. So I'm throwing the link in the chat for Alicia, and let me know. Let's synchronize our hitting play.
I think I'm ready.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, the acceleration into that turn was just so divine.
It was. What year was this from?
Well, that's a good question. If anybody knows, let us know in the comments, because it doesn't say in the video description.
It was posted in 2008.
I am assuming it's older than that.
It's so interesting because you can see where, all of the tweaks that we, how West Coast Swing looks now. You can kind of see it in this, but it's still a little different.
Yep.
Feels a little bit more ballroom like still.
Yeah. And part of that is like Jason's level of control is so beyond masterful. And he's so precise with everything he does.
Yeah.
And I feel like just in general, through the competitive ranks, not as many leaders have that interest in precision in themselves. They're wanting to paint with the follow, which is so much fun. I love that. But like, it is so amazing to have that level of control and just delicious aesthetic and powerful connection that Jason had. So there was your delicious fiber for the day, everybody. All right. What's your choice for number 5?
Okay, so 5 for me is actually a Strictly that got 5th place. And it is Maxence Martin and Alyssa Glanville. And it was from 2018. It's a really fun. I really love what Alyssa does with what she's given. And Maxence it's just like a really creative dance, in my opinion, but I think it's so like lead follow but it's still there's so much to it still.
Yeah, it's so juicy. I'm so excited because I love this dance. All right, I've got it up. Are you ready?
I think so.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
There's this whole intro of Brad talking.
Yep.
I loved Alyssa's like long hair.
I know, it's so pretty.
I mean, it's cute now, but I really like the long hair on her.
Yeah. Now that's how you look at the audience without being a serial killer.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He does such a good job addressing the audience.
Yeah. Oh, that first phrase change. Just so subtle but lovely.
Mm-hmm. That was such a nice like moment of control on her part. Because I
Yeah.
was kind of like getting thrown into something that you weren't quite ready for.
Right. It's really interesting also watching Maxence right after watching Jason Colacino, because like Maxence is also a leader that has that control and precision, but he has more flow to it.
Mm-hmm.
It almost reminds me of how people used to compare Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire.
I love that there's so much like recognizable swing in this.
Yeah, same.
But then there's also some moments that are just really fun.
Yeah. Ooh, that call-in response where she accented that one part and then he did just a little bit afterwards without copying what she did, which feels so like weird. Yeah. You're social dancing with a lead and they just copy what you did in a weird, awkward way.
Gotta love that extra like
oh, so good. And without using her neck. That was like all her face.
All upper body.
Yeah. Geez, that camera that Parker was holding was like the size of his torso. Was that Brad's camera that he was holding? Yes, it was. Baby, holding baby. Oh my god, that was amazing. Okay. So my number 4, let me double check that I'm in the right place. Okay, so my number 4 is from 9 years ago. Phoenix 4th of July champions Jack and Jill, and it's Mark Scheuffele and Alyssa Rutz. And I absolutely love this dance, especially since one of my later picks has Sharlot Bott in it. And I just love seeing this kind of collision of modern with more what's the word I'm looking for? Just a slightly older version of West Coast swing. And it's fantastic. So let me drop that in the chat
Funny, I
for
know
you.
exactly which one you are
know.
looking at because I thought about it too.
I knew. I was like, oh, but I'm picking it. The 9, you can't have it. And this only has 31,000 views. So compared to the
Yeah.
Jason Colacino one that has 1.3 million, this one has 31,000. I'm like, that's not enough.
Mhm.
All right, are you ready?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Just lifting the child up.
Yeah, I mean, Mark is quite tall.
Yeah. That's so funny. I literally thought about picking this one too. There's so much really nice countering in
Mm-hmm.
this. Like, and that's something that is interesting to me because I feel like, I mean, I'm really close to Melissa's size. I'm a little bit taller than her, but not much. We're pretty much the same size. And I feel like when I dance with guys that are like Mark's height, like they feel like they don't want to give any of their weight to me because they don't feel like, I'm small, so they don't want to like knock me over or something. But
Right.
I think this is a perfect example of like it doesn't really matter. It's more about how you're countering.
Yep.
So then like how
This
small.
wrist is so funny. Melissa's like,
I know. It's like, no, still going.
and it's also like the seamless and smooth transitions between being under your own power versus countered.
Yeah.
And it's not jarring. It's smooth and it's swung.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, but one of the things that I find interesting social dancing these days is I'll go to ask for connection around like count 4 of a 6 count pattern, for example, like the traditional posting count. And because I know I'll be wanting a little bit more on my anchor because I've got an idea for something, I'll be giving just like a little bit more than normal on that posting count, not too much. And then I go to like, because I want to be countered, and then they disappear on me. And they're like, oh, you want to travel. And then they just let the rope go. And I'm like, no, I want you to counter me, please. Also, what's funny is watching this second song reminded me of Melissa's dance with Parker at Boogie to the Moulin Rouge version
Yeah.
of this song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like she does that same hit
Yeah.
with Parker.
One thing I like about watching Melissa, I really like her anchors, like when they're just kind of simple.
Mm-hmm.
Like she stylizes them, but they're still just like a normal anchor.
Yep. And then I want to highlight just how brilliant Mark's choices are, the small choices and the phrasing choices, and then also how effortlessly he is setting them up for the audience pretty much the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like there isn't any weird moment because it would be so easy if he had Melissa on the other side of him from us in the audience to completely
Yeah.
occlude her, and that like doesn't happen.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
nice.
What is your number 4?
My number 4 is actually a routine.
Ooh,
Um, it's Chris Dumond and Tara Trafzer.
excellent.
And it's there. I don't remember uh what the name of the song is, but it's I think it was their second routine together.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy it. I think it just showcases both of their talents so well. Like their first routine together was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think this one, it's more serious and I really think it shows how talented they both really are.
Mm-hmm. All right, I've got it ready. You ready?
All right. Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
And I did intentionally choose this one that is not the open version of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one better. Because I think at the open, I don't know. I think they might have placed like fifth,
Mm-hmm.
but this was first place at this event. But I like it's a little bit different in some places and I like it better.
Mm.
Really, really beautiful turns by Tara
Mm-hmm.
into that fan kick. I always like that the piece that they're talking about, the conform, and she kind of does that. I like it.
Oh, I love this. They're like developing the emotion because this is the kind of
Mhm.
song where you could like just come out on the floor and already be like really moody. But the choreography and the performance is designed to like carry
Yeah.
us with them into that emotion.
Yeah. And I think that like the song itself builds so much
Mhm.
that I really like that they didn't overdo it at the beginning of it. Love this
Oh,
section.
lovely.
Yeah. The breakaway. Very nice. Very well done. These like accelerated moments are very impressive. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's so clean, so sharp. And I think that that really fits the vibe of the routine and the song is that really like clean, sharp movement.
Yeah. I'm actually also noticing Chris's breathing pattern and how perfectly synchronized it is with what he's needing to do
Yeah.
in the moment to be there for her.
I feel like that's one of those things that isn't always intentional.
Right,
It
right.
happens.
It just kind of happens. But I remember there was a time where like I didn't know because I have my chronic illness, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
breathing is just confusing and complicated. But when I learned to like coordinate my exhale with certain movements and my inhale with others, it like makes such a huge difference.
It does. Yeah.
Oh, so good. Like Tara's Jack and Jill personality is just such the entertainer
Yeah.
that it's such a treat to get to see this other side of her.
Yeah. That's it. It's not so much that it's even like serious, but like it shows off what she can do.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 3 spot. I I got to see this one live back in 2012. Sea to Sky, Pete Green and Katie Schneider, and I love them both so much. And I feel like if you're not Pacific Northwesty, you may not be familiar with them. And
Mhm.
they're both absolute delights, amazing dancers and amazing people. And so I just wanted to, because everybody in the room knew, oh, that was first place. Like hands down, what had happened is like game over, done. So Here it is in the chat for you. Let me know when you're ready.
I think I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Baby Ben McHenry, baby Alyssa. Cameo was never babyish, but she's like OG
Yeah.
cameo.
Miles and Doug look like the exact same as they
Right.
do. So does Jim. Although it feels like a deep V on Jim.
Mm-hmm. The way like Katie just subtly syncopates to match the lyrics.
Yeah. So much just happened.
So good. I shouldn't be talking more, but I'm just like mesmerized. I love watching this dance so much.
Yeah.
That transition into that dip was just mwah, chef's
it was
kiss.
Really nice.
And then one of the things that Pete is amazing about is level changes. And social dancing with him is bonkers. He'll like get down to my like thigh level with the top of his head. Like, I don't know how he has bionic knees, in my opinion. I want my own.
Yeah. So much drama with the hair.
Mm-hmm. So good. And like that's one of those songs, like depending on who's dancing, it could like feel awkward because that's like a really sensual song. And I don't know, this might be like a weird thing to say. Tell me if I'm off base, but this feels like two adults dancing to this song. You know what I mean? Like the partnering is just the partnership is amazing for who they are. I love it so much. But yeah. I love them both. This year, I haven't seen Pete in years since the Before Times, I don't think.
Right?
All right, what's your number 3 slot?
Parker and Melissa.
Which one?
Of course, it is a Jack and Jill from Swing Time.
Ooh.
And it is just one of my favorites of them.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited. We should do videos like this more often because this is really fun. All right, I'm ready. You ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
I love at the beginning, they're like, is the song going? It's like, okay, yeah.
Some of those Westy songs that DJs just like will cut off like either the first half phrase or full phrase, and then you never hear the original intro.
I love that like slow roll out of the so nice. So like grounded.
Like Parker's ability to do so many different footwork variations while maintaining the integrity of the connection is just incredible.
Yeah. And I love watching Parker and Melissa. I know Parker hasn't really been around as much lately, but I think that they just have such a unique style together.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it comes from like Parker. Parker just does a lot more footwork than
Yeah.
a lot of leads.
And it's really interesting watching this after having watched her with Mark earlier,
Yeah.
because depending on what she has access to and the connection, it affects kind of like the tone of her
Hmm.
choices.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously she's not going to hang off of Parker like a monkey bar every 2 seconds. Um, although I would kind of want to see that. That sounds fun. Um, I want there to be another song.
I know.
The flow was so good. Um, all right, my next choice, and who would I be if I didn't do a gender neutral role switch video? Especially since we experienced really our first Jill and Jack role switch spotlight competition ever at Boogie this past October, which yours truly was honored to participate in place. But back in the day, more and more strictly competitions were removing the gender specificity. So you could dance whichever role you chose. And Bridgetown, in particular, in Portland, Oregon, was allowing you to switch roles as well. And so in 2013, Samantha Buckwalter and Jen DeLuca did Strictly together and brought the freaking house down. And this is another one that I was lucky enough to see in person. Did you get to see that one in person too?
I
2013?
don't think so. I think this was the year before.
Damn it. It was so good. Anyways, let me drop it
I've
in
seen it
the
before though. I've seen it before because I think they did another one the next year, and
yeah.
everyone was talking about the this one.
Yeah. This was just it's so good. So let me know when you're ready.
Wow, they both look different.
I know, right?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Like the transitions when they switch roles are absolutely seamless throughout this entire dance.
Yeah. I love that Jen's just doing what she wants and Sam's like, yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah. And then one of the things that I've always appreciated about Jen is how she is the exact same dancer regardless of which role she's in.
Yeah.
Whereas you can kind of tell that Sam has kind of like a follow vibe versus a leader vibe, and they're both amazing.
Yeah.
Um, oh, that transition right there.
Yeah.
Ah, where Sam took the lead and dipped her.
Such a good
Oh,
transition.
so good.
I also love the outfit choice.
Me too. This, I believe, was also the first year of the three for all because Bridgetown started
Yeah.
that trend.
Sam
Uh,
dancing in heels.
so good. Mm.
Was she in heels?
Uh, Sam, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Supas.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I haven't
I
seen it.
personally just hate leading in heels. It makes life 10 times harder.
Oh, interesting. I know
Maybe
I
that's
used
that's
to
all.
because like back then, I think boots were just starting to become a trend, right?
Mhm.
But like most people didn't, most AFAB people did not dance in flats. And so like I know I led in heels forever. So that's how I
Yeah.
like learned how to do it.
It's like I can, but it makes life so much harder. Probably because I'm a small person. And so just not having that extra, like, I don't know, it's harder to get that back weight when you have the heels, makes it harder.
And then just because I've been keeping track of the numbers, so that video of Sam and Jen only has 7.2 thousand views, and that is an effing crime. So y'all blow this video up. You have received your orders. Okay.
My next one has significantly more than that. And it's one that we've talked about before.
Ooh. I'm extra curious. We as in you and I, or we as in nerdy?
Both.
Because the number of videos you and I have covered in private is bonkers.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So this is Jordan Frisbee and Jessica Cox from Swing Diego 2013 when they had this huge floor all to themselves. I love this. They take such good advantage of the floor. And it's just such a fun one.
There was a Jack and Jill between Ben Morris and Brandi, then Tobias, now Guild. Wow. Ha! Anyways, but it was like a late night vibe that year. Yeah. So they had a lot of the side lights out, and they picked a slow song. And the first thing Ben does is just like abscond with Brandi outside of the bounds of the spotlight. It was so fantastic. I love Ben's sense of humor so much. Anyways, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
I also just love this song. It's such a nice song. I really like that they don't have all of the other pros sitting in the background, actually.
It's flavored water.
Was that Jordan's drink that he just gave to
Probably.
Roro's drink that he took a drink out of?
I don't know.
Either way, these two, they look so much taller than they both are.
I know. There's like a certain area of videos where I feel like the final image always got stretched vertically a little bit.
Yeah. I can now hear your landscape.
Sorry, I will.
So I think just like one thing that I really love about this dance is just how well it flows. And I don't know, you can just like tell that Jessica's just really enjoying herself. And granted, this is when they were together, but I just think even still, like she looks like she's really enjoying herself as a dancer and not just because she's dancing with, her then boyfriend. But this is another one where just like the change in speed, like the accelerations are so nice. Like Jessica's spins are just so like nice and tight, and I don't it's he gives her a lot of energy for it.
Like focused energy, like he's placing her so specifically, so she feels stable. Like she has the skill that she'd be able to feel stable anyways, but she can just play and dance instead of stabilizing herself.
This nice like floating across the floor anchor. So nice. I also love how much her hair is involved in this.
It's so glorious. And like this dance to me just exemplifies enjoying the movement, like somatically in your own body from both of them. Like it comes through a lot louder on Jess than it does Jordan. But but like I'll be watching advanced dancers, all-star dancers, and even like baby champions And you can just tell they're thinking so hard.
Yeah.
They're working to do a good job.
Yep.
Which there are things to be said for that. Like, obviously, you need to be thinking about what you're doing, especially at the higher levels. But there is also something to be said to just trust your technique. I think that's something that Brandi says a lot, because to a certain extent, overthinking past a certain line, you're going to experience diminishing returns.
Mm-hmm.
And to just let yourself enjoy your movement can be so powerful. Mm-hmm. And it's more fun.
Yeah. It's interesting that you mention just the extra thinking, because I know personally, and I think it's just because I've been dancing for so long and I've been, doing stuff with music for so long. I typically, if I have a good connection with somebody, I typically don't actually really think. Mm-hmm. I typically listen to the music and just do. Like, it's to the point where I don't think. And I know that a lot of people are like, follows don't have to think. I mean, to an extent, but I think that is something that comes with a lot of experience. I don't think that that's something that a baby dancer can come in and just be like, I'm a follow, I don't have to think. No, that's generally not what happens. It's just there's a gradual, as things just become ingrained in what you're doing. I know personally, I don't even think about my musicality choices usually. It's just I do whatever I'm hearing in the music with where I'm at. I don't think about it, quite honestly. Mm-hmm. That's one of those things where competition wise, sometimes depending on how I'm feeling, if I really want to do more, then I have to think. And that's typically because during competitions, I don't always get as solid connection. But in general, I just feel like it's so much nicer when you get to a point where you can just trust your technique and you just don't feel like you have to do so much, right? You can just enjoy the dance, from both lead and follow. You can get to a point where you don't have to do so much to enjoy the dance.
Yeah. Dancing feels good and is fun. And if you're constantly seeking some sort of perfection, be it individually and or competitively, when are you going to let yourself enjoy yourself?
Exactly.
And oftentimes competitively, it's the dances that are well danced, but also you can just tell they're really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I think all of the examples we've given today, they're really enjoying the dancing that they're doing. And that's one of the things that sticks out. And actually, it would be really interesting to do a series or maybe a panel, because leaders tend to follow it in one of two camps: the kind of intuitive dancers, and then the ones that are a little bit more planned. And I've been told, I haven't spoken to Jordan personally about this, but I've been told Jordan's one of the more planned out ones. And whereas Kyle is one of the more intuitive ones. And it would be so cool to hear both of their perspectives, because that's a very important thing as a leader to understand about yourself. Are you more intuitive, or do you need to do a little bit more planning and have a little bit more guardrail structure planned out in advance, depending on what kind of song you're dancing to, so that way you have room to play and to enjoy yourself and you're not having to think so hard in the moment. Or if you're Kyle and your movement, you just somatically understand what movement can come from the movement that just happened and you go from there. Yeah. Oh, so good. Okay. All right. We are to our number one picks. And for me, it's Mark Scheuffele again, but this time with Sharlot Bott. Again, from a Swing Diego. It says 10 years ago, so it might be a little bit older than that. I'm not sure. That might have just been when it was posted to YouTube. But let me share it.
I think you'll be surprised at my first.
Ooh, I'm super curious now. But I just wanted to highlight this one because earlier we watched Mark and Melissa.
Yeah.
And
Totally different brand.
When we watch this one, you'll be able to see kind of where Melissa is drawing her inspiration from to dance with Mark in a very particular way. Yeah, but Charlotte's like the OG magic of counterbalance as a follow. And also hair. I don't know. Has any other champ follow ever had better hair than Sharlot Bott? I'm not sure.
No. So I know I've heard stories.
All right. Are you ready?
I think so. I love the title of this. Sharlot Bott dancing West Coast swing with body flight.
They're just going for the SEO. But I mean, Mark's here too. Mark's doing a fantastic job. Thanks. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. One of the things that I like about her is the distinction between when she's being more squared up versus open to the audience.
Yeah.
Oh, that tether right there was so good.
Yeah. Some really interesting, like, weight supported stuff.
Even Jess was like, that was so cool. Oh, that wasn't long enough. And they're being so patient because this is clearly a much faster song than the first one.
Yeah.
But they're making it look like a slow song.
Yeah.
That's how patient and controlled they are.
You know what's interesting is that when we were talking with Roro recently, he was saying that, like, I think he was saying that was one of his pet peeves, that, like, when you get to a certain level and you hear that, like, fast music, a lot of dancers are like, oh, I have to make this look really fast because it's fast music, so I need to, you know, show people that I understand that it's fast. It's exhausting. Also, that was such a really lovely weight support, like, swing up. So nice.
So good.
It's interesting because she was using the connection in a similar manner to Melissa, but
still different.
Yeah, still different in terms of, like, what they actually do with it is different. They have different styles that way, but, like, the leverage and whatnot, all very similar.
Yeah. And there's something about Charlotte's 1-2 that is just so crisp and perfect.
Yeah.
And, like, when I think of a follows 1-2, like, that's what I think of personally. And just, like, her rate of weight transfer, the distinction between her foot strike and then the weight transfer afterwards. So good. I love this dance, if you can't tell. Also, that video only has 5.3 thousand views. Go blow it up, everybody, because that is a crime.
Watch her dance West Coast swing with body flight.
I mean, it's not wrong.
I know, it's not.
All right, what's your first place? I'm so curious and excited.
I'm curious if you could guess who it is.
I mean, Can you give me any sort of hint? Because your
Not
brain,
going to.
your memory for West Coast swing videos is on the level of a DJ's memory for music, which I do not have even in one spade, let alone spades.
I just think you're going to be surprised by who it is.
Okay.
One eternity later.
But all right, I am ready. I have girded my loins. Tell me who it is. Oh, I don't think I'm surprised. I think I was just like way too like attached to the surprise thing. But which one of theirs is this?
It is their citizens one. So we're looking at Brandi, then Tobias, now Guild, and Ronnie DeBenedetta from Classic US Open 2013. All right.
All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Can you hear Coco? She's freaking out because somebody's home.
Ronnie and Brandi are another one of those really precise pairings that is just, it's like those so satisfying compilation videos where like things just fit perfectly together, or just it's like that on crack. I love the details.
I know. I love that she lets her hand go right up over his head.
Yeah. Oh, so good. They're like pop and lock hits because neither of them are hip hop dancers.
Yeah.
But they're able to actually get the hit across, which a lot of Westies who are not hip hop dancers, you're like, oh, you're trying. That's cute.
Yeah. I feel like not a lot of people have seen this that are like newer to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not somebody, it's not a routine that everyone's like, oh my gosh, you have to go watch this routine.
Right.
Like, Jordan and Todd or Benji.
When she pointed at the audience, chills. Yeah, for those who are watching us on the YouTube recording, if you enjoy this format and would like us to do it more often, please just let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
And we could even invite some guest YouTube DJs, like the one, the only Austin Coyce.
Yeah. I love the ending to this.
Oh, that was nice.
Also, I just love Brandi's like outfit.
I know. The costumes are just impeccable.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Chris and Tara's costumes as well.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so good. And it makes me really excited for the US Open this weekend because like it's been 3 years. How curse you, pandemic, in more ways than one. But
yeah.
So we've got some returning pairings and some new pairings this coming weekend. So I'm like really excited to see Jakub and Emmeline do another routine. So excited. Really curious to see what Sean and Alyssa do because they've been doing also some more experimental things, not necessarily their US Open routine.
Yeah.
And then Larissa's doing a showcase with Steven. Yes. And is she still doing a classic with Chris as well? Do you know?
I don't know. I would
So
assume.
I hope so. I want it in my life. Are there any and then I hope Tebow and Nicole are doing one. But are there any that you're all particularly looking forward to?
No, I feel like every year there's nobody I'm looking forward to, but I'm always impressed by at least a couple that just kind of come out of nowhere. And the one that just really sticks in my mind that always just like really surprised me, came out of nowhere, was Patty and Jesse, their Phantom of the Opera routine, their showcase.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
and then really Maria and Semyon's first routine, they're like Star Wars one. It came out of nowhere, and I'm like, this is my new favorite thing. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us for our special Thanksgiving-ish episode. Hope you have enjoyed the US Open if you were there and or watched it on Global Dance. Remember that we will be hosting the Breakfast with Champions at Swingcouver for New Year's Day here in Vancouver, Washington, aka Portland, Oregon. And if you have questions for the champs you want us to add to our list, please share them with us in the comments below. Otherwise, we will be back. Thank you.
Yeah. We'll see y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're gonna be surprised.
Also, I genuinely considered adding Jordan and Tot's gravity routine to my list. And that was the year, because Jordan and Tot's routines for me are masterpieces of technique. Yeah. But emotionally, like opinion wise, I'm not that engaged by them. Yeah. Like as a person who really respects high quality dancing and technique and skill, I'm like damn, that was the shit. But it doesn't emotionally get me, right? But their gravity routine just makes me bawl my eyes out every single time I watch it. It is a masterpiece, and that is like the one in their like run of first places where they got second place. And it's only because Brenner and Tori got first place with their like, granted, genius shag West Coast swing routine. Like, I don't like, that was an apples and oranges. Like, just give them both first place, because like what